Hey guys, what's up? Today I want to talk about 10 JRPGs that I'm pretty sure everybody knows but no one plays. And I'm talking about JRPGs that got a lot of great reviews, are popular, very well known, very well accepted. Not about the ones that got a bad reputation or bad reviews, and obviously not about the ones that are extremely rare and expensive nowadays. So welcome to my top 10 JRPGs everyone knows but no one plays. Let's begin. Number 10, Tales of Graces. I'll make a disclaimer now. If you've played any of the games you'll see in this list and love them, leave a comment. Tell everyone that, because it really feels to me like most people just say it's in the backlog most of the time. Now, I have a few theories as to why people know Graces but don't play it. First, its only English release is exclusive to the PlayStation 3, but both the console and the game are not expensive nowadays, at least not yet. Graces isn't a $20 game anymore, true, but it's not higher than 40 or 50. Buy it for more than that and they may be ripping you off. It was originally released on the Wii, but do you know where? That's right, only in Japan. I've also heard most people don't play this because it has a reputation of being too hard. Excuse me? Aren't you the ones always bragging about playing everything on hard and how most games nowadays are a walk in the park? Another reason could be that its combat is unlike any other Tales game out there. Very technical, hard to pull off those combos and exploit the mechanics. But I don't know, that also sounds like something that trends often in this day and age. Well, go ahead and give this Tales game a try, prove me wrong, then come back and say it was easy. Then I'll know you played it, and if you beat it, that means you enjoyed it. Unless you finish games you don't enjoy, which means something's not right with you, man. Go see a doctor. Number 9, Breath of Fire 4. Yes, I know this game is very expensive nowadays. I'm breaking my own rule, but not really. Like many other super rare games on the PS1, its digital release on the PSN is still up there on PS3, PSP, and PS Vita. What, you don't care about those systems? You only care about PS4 or Switch nowadays? I really do feel like the pandemic made everyone ignore the older systems for how expensive most of their JRPGs are. I just don't understand what's stopping you from emulation then. If you think it's illegal and you live in a first world country and yet you say these games are expensive and then you only play Switch or PS4, it kinda doesn't make any sense, dude. I feel like most people are way too obsessed with porting every single video game to these systems. Well, too bad you'll never play Breath of Fire 4 because Capcom couldn't care less about your hopes and desires. Unless it's someday included in that new lame-ass PS Plus service. But anyway, I picked this game because Breath of Fire 1 and 2 have mixed reviews nowadays. 3, everyone apparently played it and loved it. 5 and 6 suck, so 4 is the one everyone knows but no one plays. Number 8, Wild Arms 3. All Wild Arms games are somewhat pricey nowadays, except for 3. Originally released on PS2, still cheap today. Later enhanced digitally on PS4, also still cheap. This game and other PS2 JRPGs are often on sale on the PS4. Everyone knows the Wild Arms series, but most people barely touch it. In fact, most of them only know the first 2 PS1 games. So if you want to throw at me the same Breath of Fire 4 argument for them, go ahead. 4 and 5 have even less of an excuse since they're rare, expensive, and exclusive to the PS2 with no digital re-release whatsoever. But there's really no excuse for 3 at all. Except maybe if you don't give a damn about it, which may be the primary reason why most people know the JRPGs in this list but never play them. But if you do give a damn, Wild Arms 3 is still waiting for you. An amazing turn-based RPG with 4 main characters, great music, balanced gameplay, and no, you don't need to play any of the others to understand it. Each Wild Arms game is completely standalone like most Final Fantasy games. Number 7, Tales of Phantasia. everyone knows this is the very first Tales game ever made, no one plays it. The reasons are as follows. 1. With the exception of the GBA release, every single other version which is far superior to the GBA one stayed in Japan. 2. Apparently emulation is a bad thing. 3. Gamers want everything on the Switch or GTFO. 4. Let's face it, its gameplay mechanics are kind of outdated. I originally played the PS1 fan-translated version and I loved it, but that was over 15 years ago. Even then, I admit the combat felt clunky and slow, just a bit. Today, it's not something that I enjoy. If we add the encounter rate, which can be high depending on the version you play, it makes things worse. I still love Phantasia, and it's a critically acclaimed game, not to mention its historical influence on the genre, but unless it gets a better version of it, accessible to most people and not a crappy port like the GBA release, nearly no one will ever play this game. Number 6. Lost Odyssey. Well, this one's easy. No one plays it because it's an exclusive to everyone's favorite console, the Xbox 360. Plus, it's not on Game Pass, for now. It might as well be the only really justifiable game in the list. Well, maybe Tales of Phantasia too. I can give you a few reasons why you should get a 360 or an Xbox One, but the truth is most JRPG gamers go for PlayStation or Nintendo. Lost Odyssey, in case you're curious, goes for laughable prices in Europe. North American version went up a little bit because of the pandemic, but I don't think it's more than 20 or 30 bucks. Anyway, being an exclusive for Microsoft systems is a red flag for most JRPG fans, and so it's pretty much every other exclusive JRPG on them. I don't want to be that guy who says, "Well, you're missing out on a great game, bro," because I know your backlog is probably much bigger than mine, but the truth is, you kinda are missing out, bro. Number 5. The Eater Trilogy. It's funny how this is one of Namco's most popular and profitable JRPG series out there, but people don't play them. I became a huge fan this year because I beat them all recently. Every version, especially physical, is dirt cheap. Just because the remake and its sequel don't have a Switch release doesn't justify people's lack of interest. I'm thinking it's the repetitive gameplay that turns them away and only attracts the attention of Monster Hunter fans. Well, these games are much more than just Monster Hunter clones, you know. They have a strong story focus, strong character development, strong boss battles, and strong... In a nutshell, they're everything JRPG fans like. I get it though, I get it. Despite being very popular, a lot of people don't play them precisely because they are not Monster Hunter. Well, I don't like that series and I'm still a fan. Really, give one of these a chance. They're pretty solid games. They also have an online multiplayer mode. Number 4. The Trails in the Sky Trilogy. Ah yes, that trilogy on the PSP and Steam, everyone tells you need to start with if you want to get into Trails. Yep, the beginning of it all. Super expensive, the physical version of Chapter 1. 2 and 3 are digital only outside Japan though, and it's not like the first chapter isn't digital either on PSP and Steam. But I guess it's really annoying that Japan got its PS Vita, PS4 and Switch versions. Yeah, that's right, we didn't. Steam versions are often on sale though, but if you're a console guy like me, emulation is your only alternative. Also, I feel like despite being a pretty well-known game nowadays, people don't play it for yet another reason. Because the Trails games, well, there's just a lot of them, aren't they? And they're all connected. And most of them are kind of a slow burn, and I guess most people are just too impatient for a stealth bride to get good. I don't know, most slow-ass JRPGs are usually among the most rewarding, and I'm pretty sure most fans of this game have told you the exact same thing. Number 3. 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. This has been strongly recommended in this channel and others and several websites around the world. The majority of its reviews have been highly positive. I think the only reason why a lot of people don't want to play this game despite knowing it is because its gameplay is just not everyone's cup of tea. All they see is characters talking in a very complex story. All they also see is a top-down view combat that seems very strange and convoluted. Trust me when I say that the story is one of the best modern JRPG plots you'll ever see, and trust me when I say its battle system is nowhere near as convoluted as it seems. I thought the same thing when I first saw the trailers. It holds your hand pretty well during the first several missions, and it doesn't get very challenging until halfway through. I believe it's very easy to get into and enjoy it. Despite being on both PS4 and Switch, everyone's favorite systems nowadays it seems, people still refuse to play it. Well, maybe you're right, it's not for everybody, I respect that. But you know what other game is for everyone and it's also by Vanillaware and no one plays it? Odin Sphere. This one's on me most likely. I admit I overhype a lot of JRPGs sometimes, most of the ones in this list are no exception. Overhyping stuff is not a good idea, but reverse psychology doesn't seem to work either, so... Anyway, Odin used to be popular back in the PS2, but a lot of people refused to play it because of its technical issues. It had annoying difficulty spikes, some clunky mechanics, and you got tired very easily after just a few seconds of fighting. I mean, your character, not you the player. Or maybe you too. All of that went away in the remaster though, released on PS3, PS4 and PS Vita. So besides emulation, there's 4 different ways to play my 2D crush. However, I still feel that despite having mostly fantastic reviews and several recommendations online, people just don't talk about it anymore. I may be the only one out there. Hopefully not. I honestly don't know why people don't play this game. I can throw a few theories for every single game in this list, but Odin escapes me entirely. I know all versions go above the average $20 price nowadays, but it's not like it's over $100 or anything. Beats me, man. Maybe this game has never been as popular as I always thought it was. Number 1. Radiant Historia. This is number 1 because it's incredible how everyone tells you to play it and yet you still don't. I'm not sure why everyone is so obsessed with going after the 3DS release. Forget it, it's expensive and it probably won't go down in price soon. It's just a remaster with an extra character that doesn't even join your party, she just gives you quests. I mean, I've finished both versions and I'm inclined to say the original is better just because I prefer the art style. Gameplay wise, they're both incredible, so that means you can't go wrong with either, which also means the original DS version, which goes for 40 or 50 bucks complete in box nowadays, is just as good. It's a masterpiece! And if you still think 50 bucks is too much for an old game, I actually agree. Emulating DS and 3DS games is very easy nowadays. But if that's still out of the question for you, then that just means you don't care about Radiant Historia. Can't blame ya, there's just way too many damn JRPGs nowadays. Too freaking many, man. Like I said before guys, if you know these JRPGs and you played them, leave a comment, spread the word, tell people that you did play those games and that you did enjoy them. Tell people how great they are. And if you think they aren't that great, well, leave a comment either way. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time!